Am I a bad mom? Hey, Mon Fam, today we are going to be talking about a conversation that I recently had with my daughter, Layla. She is 13 years old, going on 14 next month, and the Lord highlighted to me that I needed to have a conversation with her. He said that when I have certain conversations where she is maybe struggling in a certain area, that I seem kind of cold and not very huggy, lovey-dovey when she comes to me with these things, and that I needed to tell her why that was so. This may be a different way of looking at things, and we just wanted to share some of the behind the scenes, because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in the Burnett house with so many kids and so many things happening. So we just figured it would be fun, or I figured it would be fun to share, and then I dragged Layla into it. When the Lord told me to speak to Layla, he was reminding me about a time where she was having an issue, and the issue was based on a lie. Basically, all issues, right, are based on a lie that we're believing, and that's why we're feeling anxiety over it, or just negativity around it, and our actions end up being based on those lies. We've already established that. We've had long conversations about lies. When Layla comes to me, it's a very different dynamic than when she comes to her dad, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
So when I come to my dad, he's more like, oh, Layla, that's not true. Let me give you a hug. We talk to you about this. We'll sort it out. And Mom's like, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Yes. Exactly. So I'm just very cutthroat. So what I explained to her was that when I see my children believing a lie, it's like the mama bear, the spiritual mama bear in me comes out, because I said a line to her that was exactly how I feel. I want you to know that just because I come off harsh maybe, when she comes to me with different situations, it's not because I'm looking at her. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at the lie behind it. And my mama bear comes out because I know that if that lie went away and truth was brought in, she wouldn't be feeling the way that she does. And so I said, I'm not here to pet the demons. I'm here to cast them out. How did it make you feel when I explained it or expressed it that way?
I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense than, because sometimes it kind of felt like you were kind of attacking me almost. It felt a little like, oh, where's my pity? And it was like not really caring a little bit.
About your situation that you were going through.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just felt a little, yeah.
Yeah. And so when I explained that to you, how did that change your perspective on it?
It helped me understand, oh, she's not actually like, no, this is your problem. She's like, this is a lie that you're believing, and that's the problem.
That's right. That's right. And so how did that make you feel about me?
I was like, oh, so she's actually a lot nicer.
Did it make you feel like I was defending you then and not against you?
Yes, definitely.
But I was for you?
Mm-hmm.
And that I want you to succeed, and I want you to believe truth so that you can be empowered to do whatever God has for you to do?
Definitely.
Yeah. So that was the conversation that we had. It was very short, but the Lord literally woke me up and he's like, you need to talk to that girl because you don't want her to misunderstand. It's not about me being cold, and I'm not saying I can't, because I am lovey-dovey with you.
You are.
I am. But there's a moment where there isn't time to tolerate these things. Some things. Other things you do need some time to work out, to talk out, to experience, all of that stuff. I'm not negating that. But there are certain times when the radar comes up, there's a big red flag and it says lie, lie. There's a big lie detector that's pulsating up here. And so it can be easily remedied. How many times have we had conversations where you come up, you're frustrated about something, and I'm saying, what is the lie that you're believing now? And then what happens? First, you're all mad maybe at your siblings or something. And what happens?
And then I sit down and I kind of reflect, and I was like, Oh, so that's the lie.
Exactly. Oh, so that's the lie. And so then what happened after that?
Then I started thinking about like the godly perspective of it, and like what I would do in a place of like as a Christian, like, you know, as someone who follows Jesus, like how would I react to this, and not how someone who is just mad at their sibling.
That's right. And so you had the opportunity to see your siblings how Jesus would see them. By knowing that, how did that change the situation?
It made me want to pray for them instead of attack them.
Okay? Pray for them instead of attack them. So it's a completely different way to battle.
It is.
Right? Instead of going to the person, we're going to the root.
Right, because you're saying it's all spiritual.
That's right.
It's not what the physical. It's not them. It's
Yes.
what they're being oppressed by.
That's right. A lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. So then the best way to defeat a lie is?
Cut it at the root.
Cut it at the root. And now she was empowered to go and war for her siblings. Right? You were able to go into your prayer closet. You have one too, huh? Yours is bigger than mine.
It is.
What? Yours is bigger than mine. I have like a space, like literally this big.
It's true.
I can barely fit. and pray for your siblings. How did that make you feel?
A lot better. I felt more like it felt like more like I had done more than if I had just yelled at them. Like I felt like I actually like made a change. Instead of just like yelling at them and then getting frustrated.
Yeah.
And then nothing happening. It felt like I actually did something that was like, okay, this is gonna actually have an effect. And get this like to stop happening.
Love it. Love it. So she's already expecting a positive outcome of victory because she's not doing it in her own strength.
Exactly.
Which is using your vocal cords to yell at your siblings, but God's strength that can change the heart. The cool thing about all of this is we just wanted to share because sometimes as parents, we just need to go to the root. Actually, I take that back. All times as parents, we need to seek out the root. And if it's something that can be cut out immediately, we use our spiritual authority as sons and daughters of the Most High God, and we just eradicate it immediately. Other things, like I said, may take a little more time, and that's fine. But we want to be sure that we are protecting these kids as much as possible and empowering them to go out and lead instead of follow. Do you feel like you've been empowered to be a leader instead of a follower?
Definitely.
Yeah? In what way?
Just by like being able to have more control over the situation almost. Because a follower would kind of just do what everyone else would do, which would just be to get mad, for example, at siblings, and then yell, and then move on.
Yeah.
But as a leader, you can actually make a change to the situation because you're the one who has control and is in charge over that situation.
That's right. Exactly. So from the mouth of a 13-year-old, and we just want to show you all that we can have these kinds of conversations. It's important for our children to know what the intention of our heart is in any way that we approach them, in any way that we discipline, in any way that we model things for them, in any way that we just want them to hold on to truth so badly because we know that it is their lifeline to the life that God has for them. So we wanted to share this with you all. We hope that this empowers you to also have these conversations with your children. And I'm just so thankful that Layla said yes to have this conversation because I know it's not easy, it's not comfortable, but it's important. And we know that if we can help anyone in this walk of parenthood, of having a family that you have to deal with, siblings, all of these different circumstances and situations where truth needs to come in, there is a way to do it. But always with the understanding of, oh, Mama Bear's coming here and she's not coming at me, she's coming at the lie. And once the lie is eradicated, then we can be all, lovey-dovey. Until then, at least on my end, she can go to her dad for all the hugs, but at least on my end, she knows that I'm going to go to war for her. But she needed to know that ahead of time. So that in future moments, she's like, oh, My mom is not going to let this pass.
Mm-mm.
She's not going to let this lie attack my emotions, attack my actions, attack my thoughts. She's going to eradicate it right there, and then I get to just frolic in the field and enjoy my wonderful life. So thank you, Layla.
Yes.
And we just hope, Mon Fam, that this was a blessing to you. We'll be doing more interviews with other kids in different situations, but we thought this would be helpful for you to kind of see how we work things out here in our